Obviously, not all marketers have the luxury of big data, right? The bigger your data, the sort of more accurate your predictions will be, and once you start to move from the enterprise level into the medium-sized businesses and the small-sized business, you end up with the sort of data haves versus the data have-nots, both with regards to having big enough sample sizes to have statistical validity, or you just have to wait forever, at which point the data starts to get fuzzy, right? Because it came in over time. So if you happen not to be, have access to the $1 million a month budgets where, good data flows in almost on a daily basis, and you're sort of stuck working with smaller data sets, how do you advise those businesses? And sometimes they're actually big businesses, but they're just sort of in niches. When you sell MRI machines, they're not added to shopping carts, right? It's a longer sales cycle, and you don't sell that many every year. But you could just be a smaller business stuck with that same sort of data scarcity problem. How should they embrace analytics and knowing that they have smaller data sets?
There is a middle ground where it's kind of no man's land. If you have lots of data, that's great. If you have very little data, you can, I don't want to use the word federated data because Google has taken that word from us. But my favorite example is Shopify. Put up a store on Shopify. And if you can get 100 people a month to show up, then you can compare their behavior on your website to 1 million other stores on Shopify. And Shopify's AI system will say, hey, we noticed the behavior of people on Facebook when this happens and that happens. And we recommend a $25 test to advertise to retarget people. Do you want to run this test? Yes or no? And it's a text. It comes to you on your phone. You don't have to be an analyst. You don't even have to be a marketing person. Their AI system says, this would be a good idea. Do you want to invest $25? Yes. And then a week later, here's the result. You want to make that $5? Yes. That's leveraging artificial intelligence and data, even though you don't have much. But if you're selling MRI machines, you are in a world where you know who your audience is. You're not advertising on TV. You know them by name if you're good, and you invest in spam instead of advertising.